Well, folks, the Turbine guy back here once again. And if you'll remember the last time when we talked, we kind of went into the outline of the lawsuit, however convoluted it is, talked about how Lanfer and Rogers started this suit, sued the city sued us, and we tried fighting back. But you also remember that their good friend and buddy Dennis Walsh, who lives up the street and is currently mayor of Orono, worked with them on their plan on how they were going to get the city, instead of getting the suit dismissed, to go after us for 18 months. That's what we talked about before. What I'd like to bring up and talk about now is I'd like to examine these three characters, Pete Lanfer, Penny Rogers, and Dennis Walsh, to see some of the statements they've made and some of the statements others have made about their behavior, so that we can get a better grasp of what's been going on with this lawsuit. So today I will start with the neighbors, the plaintiffs, Lanfer and Rogers. Okay, folks, here we are ready to go. We are here to talk about, as I said, the plaintiffs, Lanfer and Rogers, in case 27 CV 17-7166, and everything I'm going to talk about tonight is a matter of public record. So there's nothing special or hidden in anything going on here. Now, first thing to start out with is I want to talk about these people and what they're bringing into this lawsuit and kind of what they're looking for. Now, it's quite interesting that if we just kind of start out over here, the plaintiffs have sent 1,221 emails to the city. That's right here, folks. All of these were submitted as evidence by the plaintiffs, and the title of that folder was Emails to City, and it was 1,221 documents. By the way, these emails are in regards to the Nygaards. I haven't found anything in these emails about Go Green Energy. Next thing we'd like to look at quickly. Plaintiffs submitted as evidence to the court emails to police. 239 emails to the police. Now the interesting thing is, these emails are not about criminal activity. These emails are about property violations or supposed property violations. So there you go. 239 pages submitted by the plaintiffs, titled Emails to the Police. I don't have the file here with me, but they have also submitted 122 photographs of us, our property, or people on our property. Now these are just the ones they submitted. I couldn't tell you if they have more or not. So this is all evidence that the plaintiffs submitted. That's where we're starting from, folks. These are minor property issues. These are potential code compliance issues. And what do we have? 1,221 pages of emails to the city, 239 pages of emails to the police, and 122 submitted photographs. All right. As far as I'm concerned, that's ridiculous. But hey, that's just me. So I figured the next thing we would do is go into some actual quotes given by Mr. Lanfer and Miss Rogers during actual deposition that were recorded and videotaped, and they did have their own lawyer present. Okay? So they were well protected and everything's going on. And we're starting out with Mr. Lanfer, and you can see we have different categories here, 2 here and 3 here. We're going to start out with the claims for damages. And we're going to find out that Mr. Lanfer says repeatedly that he is not claiming any monetary damages for any of the stuff he filed this lawsuit for. Now, considering the only kind of damages you can get are monetary damages, I'm not sure what he really wants. So, that's just me. Anyways, we will get into it. We will start with Mr. Lanfer's. And if you'll look, first thing we'll look into is the very front page where they talk about the deposition of Peter H. Lanfer, March 16, 2018. Okay, the next page we get to is page 112. We're getting down, or around line, oh geez, it's way down there, question, line 14. And the question to Mr. Lanfer is, have you suffered any monetary damages as a result of the Nygaards storing their wave runner 1 foot or the footings of their wave runner lift by 5 inches on your property? Okay, so here's the deal. We haven't stored stuff on their property line or over the property line, but their claims are that we've done stuff. So these questions are geared at what their claims are, not necessarily what reality is. Anyways, we'll go over this one more time. Have you suffered any monetary damages as a result of the Nygaards storing their wave runner lift or footings of their wave runner lift by 2 to 5 inches on your property? The answer is no. Do you make any claim for monetary damages related to that? No. No. Next, page 114, line 7, well, 8 question. There's no claim for pain, anguish, emotional distress, or damages in this lawsuit. Do you agree with what your lawyer just said? The answer is yes. No claims for any of those. Tell me what monetary damages you suffered from having the surfboard encroach on your property by 2 to 5 inches. Answer is none. Tell us what monetary damages that you suffered as a result of the Nygaards trespassing related to the plastic basketball hoop. That's one of those stand-up hoops that the kids play in. I would strap it to the dock so we could play there. The answer again, none. What monetary damages did you suffer as a result of the wire cables encroaching on your property? Answer is none. What monetary damages have you suffered as a result of the Nygaards throwing their garden pots or garden equipment on the slope between your property? Answer is none. What damages, monetary damages, have you suffered as a result of the Nygaards pounding poles or stakes into your property? None. With regard to wooden slats that were stored next to the post from number 6, what monetary damages have you suffered as a result of that? None. Are you asking any claim, or are you making any claim for damages with regard to the wooden slats? No. And the other items that we've gone through, the pounded posts, the garden pots, the wire cables, plastic basketball hoop, the surfboard, the wave runner lift, are you making any claim for damages based on trespass on those items? So again, the answer is no. Line 16. What about the barrels? Are you making any damage claims related to the storage of the barrels on your property? Answer is no. What about with regard to the dock system that you testified? In item 3, are you making any claims for damages related to that? No. What about the electrical tubing you testified to in item 2? Are you making any claims for that? No. No, 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 no. Now we get over to page 124, line 21. What monetary damages have you suffered from either of those two flags catching a wind? Get that? Either of two flags catching a wind what monetary damages have you suffered as a result of this? The answer is none. Griping about flags, people. Now we get down, page 126, line 10. You haven't suffered any damages, correct? No. Okay. These people now, at least Mr. Lanford, has admitted that there are no damages suffered for him or his property as a result of what we've done. And so I have a hard time wondering why this lawsuit was filed, but that's just me again. Okay, now interesting, we get to see a little potential attitude or reason maybe. So when you see the flag extending on your property by 2 feet, which by the way folks, there was no flag extending on his property by 2 feet. That's what he ended up saying a little earlier. So when you see the flag extending on your property by 2 feet, that really disturbs your peace and enjoyment of your property. Is that correct? Yes. Particularly the Nygaard for Senate flag. I guess I don't need to comment on that one anymore. Now we get to, we've just done all the claims for damages, which are none, and we gave a little bit of a reason why. Now we're talking about how much time have you spent going after the Nygaards. Believe it or not, he says 15 to 20 hours a week at his time. 15 to 20. This man is doing a part-time job every week. Every week going after the Nygaards. We turn to page 210, line 2, question. How much time have you spent dealing with private nuisance as you're claiming in this case? Depending on the time, Mr. Lanford says, the week, and what's transpired, I could be spending, 15 to 20 hours a week. 15 to 20 hours a week. Not my words, under oath words by Mr. Lanford himself. All right, folks. Now we're on to Miss Rogers. And we will grab her transcript excerpts right here. And if you look right on the front page, you can see March 16, 2018, same date. She was in there with her husband and vice versa. We all had lawyers. She had lawyers. We had lawyers. The city had lawyers. Everybody had lawyers. I think even the lawyers might have had lawyers while we were there. Okay? So we were all covered. So this is hers, ready to go. Now we're going to find out when we start that her claims for damages are none match her husband's claim for damages, which are none. Now, I don't understand, but typically when you file a lawsuit, it's for a claim for damages. Well, they both admitted they have no claims for damages. Okay, so we go to page 6. The question, do you remember I asked your husband to identify every incident of trespass that your husband is claiming in this lawsuit? She said, yeah, I do. Do you believe your husband testified truthfully? She said yes. So everything he said, no claim for damages, and they were going after it, that she believes that's true. That's good. That's confirmation. Now, if we look, time to go for it, time spent going after the Nygaards. He said 15, 20 hours a week. We're going to find out she said something different. So, page 21, line 19, question. If you don't have contemporaneous time records, which meant she didn't take it as they went, so she does not have a journal. If you don't have those records of the amount of time that you spent on this case, how are you going to calculate with some level of precision the amount of time you spent working on the lawsuit? Now, this is important, you need to understand, because they've already said the part of what they want to get us for is the time they spent on the lawsuit. And I haven't said this yet. They want $125 per hour. Per hour. Let me get this right here. There we go. Well, excuse me there, kitty. I'm busy working. That would be my seat. This is my kitty cat. She is Luna Kitty. She's also known as Princess Frady Cat. There you go. There's my kitty. So anyways, getting back to the task at hand. They want $125 an hour for 15 to 20 hours a week for going after us. And for 20 to 40 hours a week, according to her. $125 an hour. But she admits right here they took no time records. Next page. 22. We're probably going a little light as far as how many hours we worked. This wasn't enough. And this wasn't enough. They did more. Get down a little more. So it's a fair, so it's a couple hours a day. We prepare at least 2 hours a day between the two of us per year. 2 hours per day between the two of us per year. He sometimes does 40, sometimes 20. He sometimes does 40. He misunderestimated this according to her. This gentleman, according to his wife, could be doing a full-time job trying to figure this out. Okay, now we get to page 24. How do you know it's 1 or 2 hours a day, the question is? Well, she answers. And he says, well, my lawyer says, well, is that an estimate? And she says, it is an estimate. So they have no idea how much time they spent. She admitted right here, she's making it up. He's making it up. Just a guess. Who knows? Okay. To go along with the damages, part of the 20-40 hours a week, if we look on page 28, line 13, question, in this case, you're going to seek, as part of your damages in this case, the time that you spent in trial with the Nygaards on a previous case in 2004. Correct? The answer was correct. Yes. So, they are seeking damages for a prior litigation. Time they spent in a prior litigation. Now we get to page 29. Line 19. So, the question is, so, you're also going to seek compensation for the time you spent in your car driving to the courthouse. The answer was yes. Sorry. No commentary needed there. Now, last but not least is the most, well, not most important. I mean, I think all of these issues are important. This is very important too. And it goes along with these issues right here. 1221, 239, 122. Question. Do you have a diary? Answer no. Does your husband? No. But we print everything we see. What does that mean by you print everything you see? Well, anytime we see a story in the paper or Facebook, we print it. Folks, these people follow me on Facebook. They print out everything I write. She's admitted it right here. These people are watching me. And they're watching everything I do. And I guarantee you they're watching this video right now. Because that's what they do. So there it is. What do we have? Quick overview. The plaintiffs, Lanford and Rogers, filed a claim. And that claim, 27 CV 177166, in that they submitted as evidence 1,221 pages of emails to the city. As evidence, 239 pages of emails to the police. 122 submitted photos as evidence. They both have claimed they have no damages. It's either 15 to 20 hours a week or 20 to 40 they spend. And they keep track of everything we do. Well, excuse me if I put my sunglasses on. Try to gain a little anonymity, please.